If it seems like the entire cast of Only Murders in the Building are besties, well, they kind of are, and their friend group just keeps growing. These are the famous faces that Steve, Martin, and Selena have invited to stop by the Arconia.
God, I love this building.
When you happen to live in a building like the Arconia, running into a celeb or two isn't exactly out of the ordinary. But did anyone really expect Sting to show up as one of our crime-obsessed trio's neighbors in Season 1?
Well, hello there, Sting.
Sting only stuck around for 2 episodes, but he definitely set the stage for other big names to drop by when they had a free afternoon. Later on in Season 1, Jimmy Fallon makes a brief appearance as himself in an in-universe Tonight Show clip, where he interviews true crime podcast celebrity Cinder Canning, played by his real-life friend Tina Fey, but we'll come back to her. By Season 2, Sting had moved out of the penthouse suite, which left a space open for a new celebrity to move in, and that's Amy Schumer, who, like Sting, is only in the building for 2 episodes, and she's a big fan of our trio's podcast.
No, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I was never that into murder before.
And celebrities aren't just hanging out inside the Arconia, they're on the street too. In Season 4, Oliver does his best to recreate a crime, only to run into some trouble outside the building, with former tennis superstar John McEnroe.
Move it! Kids on leashes should be illegal. I'm trying to do something here. Get back!
Hey! Nice outfit, jackass!
Thanks to Oliver's Broadway background, theater is a big focus on Only Murders, which of course means we should expect to see some famous theater people. We get that in Season 3 with both Matthew Broderick and Mel Brooks, who show up as versions of themselves. Broderick is hired for Oliver's play, Death Rattle, and he's kind of a lot.
Now, this calls for some rethinking.
No, it really doesn't.
Back to the piano, please. 3 little babes and their bassinets.
Oliver then calls his good friend Mel Brooks to get the scoop on working with Broderick, and is given some hard truths.
Oh, Oliver, you're
Death Rattle also introduces us to a couple other big names. Paul Rudd plays obnoxious actor turned murder victim Ben Glemroy, and his Irish stunt double Glenn Stubbins in a handful of episodes across Seasons 2 through 4. The Broadway show even gives Oliver a love interest, Loretta, played by Oscar-winning and generally beloved actor Meryl Streep. She was actually showrunner John Hoffman's dream casting, and he didn't think he'd ever be able to get her. But lucky for him, Streep had actually reached out to Martin Short and Steve Martin, hoping to work together. Hoffman told The Hollywood Reporter it only took a week for her to agree to do the show. Celebrities playing themselves don't stop at Broadway though. In Season 4, our trio delves into the Hollywood film scene, and they meet up with some big names.
Find me a celebrity this season.
Oscar-winning director Ron Howard, who Oliver lovingly refers to as Ron, makes an appearance as himself to help shed some light on their latest case.
Oh my God! It's you! Ollie! It's Ron! Ron!
But Howard's cameo is only one of many throughout Only Murders' most meta season. Scott Bakula shows up in the premiere at a party, where Charles accidentally mistakes him for his missing former stunt double, Saz. Bakula doesn't just kinda look like Charles, he's actually dating Charles's love interest from Season 3. Brazos' makeup artist, Joy. She's played by Andrea Martin, who was once Martin Short's in real-life sister-in-law. Bakula also isn't the only actor brought in this season meant to vaguely resemble Charles. Eugene Levy as himself gets cast to play Charles in a movie based on the trio's podcast. He's joined by Zach Galifianakis, who's been cast as Oliver.
I'm Jack Black.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
I'm not Jack Black.
Oliver, this is Zach Galifianakis.
Oh yes, Zach Galifianakis, of course.
Ha!
And Eva Longoria, who rounds out the Hollywood doppelganger trio to play an aged-up Mabel, thanks to focus group feedback on the creepy age gap between her and the guys.
Plus, we're basically the same age. I mean, look at us.
The producer in charge of this whole movie adaptation is Bev Mellon, played by Molly Shannon. And of course, a murder being investigated in Season 4 is Saz Patakis, and she's played by Emmy winner Jane Lynch over several standout episodes throughout all 4 seasons. Only Murders in the Building wouldn't be the show that it is without its central podcast, and there are a few folks you might recognize from that part of the series world. In season 1, Oliver and Charles are tailing Mabel when their car breaks down. Luckily, a couple of fellow podcasters offer them a ride.
Hello.
Hi. Let me call you back. My cousin just picked up 2 white boys.
Those two are stand-up comedian and Daily Show correspondent Roy Wood Jr. and Broadway and TV actor Jacob Ming Trent. Only Murders is actually filled with a who's who of Broadway talent. Casting director Destiny Lilly told the SAG-AFTRA Foundation that when they started production in summer 2020, there were a lot of theater actors who weren't working at the time. So she wanted to get them on the show. That includes Tony winner Ali Stroker, who shows up for 4 episodes in seasons 1 and 2 as Paulette, one of the Arconiacs podcast superfans who give our trio an assist on a little crime solving. But the queen of podcasting, for a while at least, is All Is Not Okay in Oklahoma host and Only Murders hater Cinder Canning.
From this moment on, that is mine. Do you understand? Say otherwise and you will be stocking the NPR fridge with LaCroix until you're 50. Do you hear me?
She's played by Tina Fey in a handful of episodes over seasons 1 through 3, and according to John Hoffman, she was made for the role. He told /Film that Fey was their dream casting. It might not always seem like it, but Oliver, Charles, and Mabel do have lives outside their building's crimes, and there are a number of famous faces who make up their extended families. In season 1, we meet Mabel's mom, Sylvia, who's played by yet another Broadway star, Mandy Gonzalez. Mabel's parents are both famous, in fact. In a season 2 episode, we get a couple of flashbacks to her childhood and her now-deceased dad, who's had a heavy influence on who she is today.
It is a good mystery, huh? And a mystery is just a puzzle, right, Mabel?
He's played by daytime talk show host and former soap opera star Mark Consuelos. But the biggest name to land a guest spot during season 2 has to be Shirley MacLaine.
Now, somebody make me a cocotini, please.
She spends 2 episodes at the Arconia, at first pretending to be the latest murder victim's mother, but she's in fact someone with ties to Charles. She'd had an affair with his father many years before. Charles's family gets expanded on even further in season 4. That's when we meet his sister, Doreen, who loves dolls, booze, and Oliver with equal passion.
You are intuitive. That is much more important in a man than height.
Thank you.
That's Melissa McCarthy in the role, and she steals the entire episode. Obviously, the best opportunities for Only Murders guest stars are inside the Arconia itself, and in season 4, we're introduced to the Westies.
They're an odd bunch. Weirdos. Loners.
Renters.
The Westies start the season as murder suspects, and for pretty good reason. There's the Sauce family, always making suspicious sauce. The matriarch, Inez, is played by yet another Broadway actor, Daphne Rubin Vega. Then there's Rudy, aka Christmas All-the-Time guy, who's always working out and never taking down his Christmas decor. That's Emmy and Oscar-nominated actor Kumail Nanjiani. And finally, there's Vince, or Stink Eye Joe, as Charles calls him.
I have antibiotic-resistant pink eye, and it leaves one eye and then goes back into the other, and then back and forth and back and forth.
He's played by beloved comedian Richard Kind. Kind was probably the easiest to get for the show. He told Vulture that all anyone has to do to get him on set is ask, and have a craft services table. The Westies turn out to not be killers, but they are part of a rent control scheme hatched by Milton Dudenoff, who's played by industry veteran Griffin Dunn. He's only around for 2 episodes, but he's at the very heart of one of the building's biggest mysteries. By this point in the series, it was pretty clear that celebrities were lining up to join the cast, even for just a cameo. John Hoffman told The Wrap that it just felt ridiculous that he was able to get anyone and everyone he wanted on the show. But back at the beginning, no one could have known how popular Only Murders would be. So it's pretty incredible that one of the Arconia's greatest residents is also one of its first. Teddy Demers, owner of Demers Delis and sponsor of the podcast's first season.
Do you know what my cousins back on Niceros are gonna do when they see this? They're gonna shit themselves, Ollie.
Nathan Lane plays the Dip King / criminal for several episodes in seasons 1 and 2, and he got the job the old-fashioned way. Short and Martin asked him to, and having been good friends for years, saying yes was a given. There are countless other familiar faces in the world of Only Murders, but there are a couple more standouts. That includes Michael Rappaport, who plays the crooked detective Daniel Krebs over the course of season 2. He's got some anger issues and isn't exactly the brightest, but all he really wants is a little love.
If I'm so stupid, how come I was able to land the smartest woman on the planet? Huh?
Also in Season 2 is Cara Delevingne's Alice, who acts as a love interest for Mabel. Alice is only around for the season, but the artist gallery owner makes a big impression on the youngest member of our main trio, when she isn't being suspected of murder, that is. Another one of John Hoffman's personal picks is Taya Leone, who shows up in the Season 4 finale to throw a wrench into our podcaster's plans.
I want to hire you to find my husband. It's urgent.
She plays Sophia Cacciamilio, the wife of the missing dry cleaning king of Brooklyn, who may have ties to the mob. And speaking of Hoffman, he also shows up in the Season 4 finale as Oliver and Loretta's wedding officiant. Another crew member who makes a cameo, Siddhartha Khosla, the show's composer. You can spot him playing piano in the Season 4 premiere. With Season 5, there will be even more celebrities showing up on the Arconia's doorstep, especially now that the building's doorman Lester has been found dead in the courtyard fountain.
They say it's accidental?
So we just assumed murder.
We do know of at least a few people for sure who'll be coming around. Bobby Cannavale is set to play that missing dry cleaning king of Brooklyn, Nikki Cacciamilio. Renee Zellweger, Christoph Waltz, and Logan Lerman will be a trio of billionaires, all of whom are based on real-life people, according to John Hoffman.
The mob? This is the new mob of New York. Please tell me you recorded that.
Zellweger plays Camilla White, a high society Martha Stewart-esque designer. Waltz is Bash Steed, a tech guy who's into AI and immortality, and Lerman plays Jay Flug, a nepo baby from a well-known Fawcett-turned-farmer family. Also joining the cast this season are Keegan-Michael Key as Mayor Tillman, Diane Wiest as Lester's widow Lorraine, Beanie Feldstein as Althea, and Jermaine Fowler.